Hey, what's up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Eldrazi ramp on the draw for game one. Been unfortunate for the Seas to take that, but we can go Speaker on two. So we'll go Windswept Teeth and pass. Question is what we're playing against. Could be Frog, could be Gorios. Island, Watergrave feels more like Frog. Do we see a Frog? Tis the question. End step, Windswept Teeth, Fetch, Surveil. I do wonder about maybe grabbing Ice Till off Speaker. This could be a counter spell though, which I don't like. Speaking of Ice Till, okay, we can sequence that. So we'll go Lab, Imprint, Devour. Show me the counter spell. What say you? Was I right about the counter spell read? If you hadn't seen the Ice Till, ooh, interesting. Let's it go. Do you have a consign? Even more interesting. Yeah, I think it's still correct here to drop Devour. We can go Myco Spawn, grab a Soul Land, though maybe we keep the Devour, honestly, because we can play Myco Spawn on 3, Devour on 4. Otherwise we could look towards Recursion with Breaker instead of Devour, but Devour I think is probably correct. Yeah, well, let's let it go. There are times where I think that is just correct. There's a Bowmaster. Island Cycle, that's fine. Grabs a Sewer, so definitely not Gorios. If they don't represent... Oh, okay, Thoughtseize. I mean, you see Ice Till and Myco now. So we have another play no matter what. If they have a counterspell, then Myco's probably the better pick. If they don't have a counterspell, then Ice Till. So they don't have a counterspell. Oh, maybe they still do. Interesting. There's Unholy Heat. Well, let's start by going to combat. Actually, do I want to go to combat? I'm gonna say no, actually. I realized maybe I don't. Because we can go Myco. Is this consign? It is main deck consign. I do hate that. Yep, main deck consign. At this point, we'll pass. We should have attacked first because, again, I was kind of thinking we hold up the heat, but now we obviously can't. There's Sewer Surveil. Definitely should have connected. Opponent should be at 12, but misplay on my part. Should have cast Myco first and then went from there. Would have informed my decision making of whether or not we hold up heat. Well, this does make things more complicated. A temple does give us Devour, which is good though. But opponent definitely doing a lot of interaction here between Seize and Consign. Quantum Riddler to Yard, casting Tamiyo. Riddler, draw 2, flip Tamiyo, plus Tamiyo. Tamiyo goes up to 4, down to 3. Heat whiffs on it. There's Ugin. Ugin's not the play. The unfortunate truth here is Tamiyo can minus, pick up consign. We'll hold heat. If they pick up consign, that's fine. But I imagine they plus Tameo here. That way it can stick on board. Riddler will draw a card. We also now have to deal with a Riddler. Was that the one from Exile? It was. Tameo will plus. We will pass and draw into K command. Question now becomes force. So what I want to do here, I think... Ooh, this is interesting. Because what I want to do is K command X equals 2 leave up commercial district for the heat on Tameo is my thought. We risk force, unfortunately, but I think I have to go for it now. We go ramp and scry draw here. It resolves. There's a land, another K command, though. I think I do want the land, because right now we are at 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go K command, bottom, for Misty Rainforest, and then heat target Tameo. Tameo down, and now we have Devour and Ugin primed. They definitely don't have force. We know that, given that they gave us both K command heat. They do play main deck Consign, which is something we need to be mindful of. 5 cards in hand, Otawara, 6 mana, there's Frog. We'll take 4 down to 15. Second main. 4 cards in hand. The question is, do we go after Frog or go after Riddler? Riddler lets them draw 2 cards. Frog also lets them draw 2 cards. Regardless, we should go for either or. And both. Push spawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll sack in response. They try to keep me off a 7. Alright. 2 in hand. Do you have another push? 3 mana. Sink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need a land. So I'm actually not going to fetch here on end step, because I want a higher percentage chance of seeing a land. We see heat instead, which does work to our advantage, because we can either take out Frog or Riddler. Though I think Riddler... See, this is interesting. Riddler, I think, is probably the better hit here, just by virtue of Riddler will let them draw 2. Frog again lets them draw 2. They would need another Riddler. We've already seen one. We've only seen one Frog, though. I think we will heat the Riddler here. Riddler down. And at that point, we'll pass. So they are afraid of the Devour in hand. Frog will float. Again, they'll draw a card regardless. We'll take 1. Pitch Spell Snare. Makes sense at this stage in the game. Down to 13. Opponent will draw a card. 2 in hand. Second main. Casting. Playing a Marsh Flats and passing. Again, we're not going to fetch because we want more chances of finding a land. We see Rumble. We'll cast Rumble. And is this a hardcast force? It is a hardcast force. I suppose I can force them to continue to use resources and float. So no attacks. Fetch 13, surveil. Yeah, it would make sense. They will surveil. push to yard. Alright, we hold. I just need a land here. Float frog. We'll take 2 down to 11. 3 down to 10. Opponent will draw a card. Second main, casting Thoughtseize, Seize Devour, and Ugin. They'll take the Ugin down to 11. And we'll draw. K return is not it. Jesus, I cannot find a land to save my life, apparently. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We will pass, holding up the K return. Again, forcing them to float with Frog. 2 mana. Is this Riddler? This does look to be Riddler. Draw 2. That is very unfortunate. There's Riddler. Opponent will draw 2. Will you pitch 1 to Frog to draw another 2? I'm pretty sure they can put me into a position here where I lose regardless. Yeah, so they pitch 1 more, push me down to 5. It means fetching down to 4 I would die to Riddler. So they really should pitch the last card here and push me down to 5. And they choose not to, though. We're down to 6. They'll draw a card. Draw 2, rather. So at this point, drawing into a Stomping Ground would kill me. We only have 1 Stomping Ground, but we have 4 forests. So I should actually fetch Stomping Ground here, because Stomping Ground would kill me. So we are going to go to end step. We are going to fetch down to 5. Go Stomping Ground, tap, because drawing that would kill me. We need to find a forest or something else. K command. K command does work because we can dispatch the frog. I will hold up K command. No attacks. If you have a Bowmaster, you win. Pitch Frog. That will resolve. We can go to Upkeep. I'm going to K command Ramp in Exile. Exile Frog. Leave up 1 in case of spell Pierce. And done. Counterspell? Man, that's such a rough loss because we were just so close through and through. We'll concede. We need a land for so long, just cannot find one, period. Jesus. Okay. Oh, let's go to sideboard. So, Frog. For Frog, the Jukabog is still relevant. Ghost Quarter's not. However, Ice still might be. Thought Not Seer is. K Return is not. So, the thought process here. Bobble, yes. Heat, yes. Ghost Quarter, no. So we can probably cut the Ghost Quarter here. Let me actually reference my own sideboard guide. Make sure we're doing this correctly. So Frog. I'm going to bring TKS in. We bring K Return out. Did I leave 61 cards in? Oh, I did. How did I manage that? Oh, the freaking fourth forest. That's a whoopsie. So yeah, I'm really accidentally playing 61 cards because I forgot I had a fourth forest. Whoops. Supposed to be only 3 forests, not 4. So we're on the 61. But yeah, so I think just the K return out for the TKS in makes sense. The TKS right now is I'm debating between the TKS and Blood Moon, but I think the TKS is better just by virtue of it applying pressure, where Blood Moon obviously doesn't. We should be mindful and play around Harbinger post board as well as Break the Ice. Obviously, the unfortunate fact is that we're playing into the blind, so we do need to play around many different things. Murktide is also a potential, but given that we're going to be running Bajugabog anyways to disrupt Tamio, I think we should be fine. It was so unfortunate. Like, we were, like, at so many positions, our opponent was left with no responses or no interaction, and all we were digging for was just a land, and we could not find it. Even if an extra one in our deck, funny enough. Alright, we'll be on the play for game 2. That is a bit slow. The only thing that would make this better would be a lab. I think we mulligan here. We do have Sprawl for acceleration. We can keep the K command. So if I go... I want to go Wooded Foothill Thatch. Maybe drop a K command here, actually. I will... See, the thought is that we want to see a Soul Land for the K commands, though. I'd like not to get hit by Thoughtseize, so actually we'll drop the Stomping Ground. Reveal Devour. This also means I can't fetch on one. Shit, that's right. Suppose we can do this. We do see the Temple. We see Micah. We'll take Temple. We are going to have to risk it. Go Stomping Ground, Shock, Sprawl for green. Not what I want to be doing. Do you force? That'd be aggressive, but potentially correct. Opponent will force pitching Harbinger. Honestly, I'm kind of okay with that trade. We'll pass. In that case, I think I might start... I guess we don't need to start with the Wooded Foothill here, but we're also not going to go Temple. K Command X1 most likely. So we're going to go Wooded Foothill, pass. And the question is whether or not we want to Surveil, go green. I think I actually do want to fetch for a forest here, just to play around the Harbinger. We'll draw into Maiko. I'm going to use the K command as permission. We could play it, right then, or play the Mega Spawn into a consign, but I think the K command as permission makes more sense. Alright, we'll go to end step, cast K command, ramp and scry draw, use it as permission. This matchup, I will say, is where I do miss Cavernous Souls and do wonder if maybe the Boseiju inside should be Cavernous Souls instead. There's the consign. We'll draw into Temple. We are going to kick Maiko and go after Watery Grave. Float black for push, maybe? Though I feel like he would have taken out push. Bajugabog, no. Shifting Woodland, no. Ghost Quarter, no. I'm thinking we go either Temple or a second Forest here. I will go Temple and pass. Like I said, I'm pretty sure you would have taken out push. Really? That's a bit surprising if I'm being honest. Old Cakeman, off chance we want to cycle it in the face of a Harbinger. Doesn't look like a Harbinger though. We'll draw into a Devour. We could just hold on to the K commands, but I think we're just going to apply pressure here and try and draw out counter magic, because the K command is objectively better than the Devours into the like into an open field. Blue black Bowmaster, Shoulder's Edict. That's fine. We'll pass. 3 cards in hand. Harbinger would absolutely decimate us, though, I will say. Oh no. That's unfortunate. There's Talisman, which does help, but not enough right now. We'll pass. My thought process about playing the Devour there is the fact that, like, we're applying pressure to board, and I feel like they weren't going to let me just hold the K command, but given the Harbinger, they actually would have given it to me. That's quite unfortunate. Down to 15. Riddler, Warp, and Draw. There's Rumble. I will cast Rumble. You have Counterspell or Force. Please have neither. You have neither. There's Ice Till. I will take the Ice Till, yes. We have a couple different options now. We can go for the K command, X equals 3 to exile the Harbinger. We can hold for Devour. I think we're probably going to go for the K command. See if they tap out for Riddler. If you tap out for Riddler, it gives us free reign to exile the Harbinger. And if an instance that they don't, and we use K command as permission, then we can resolve the Ice Till as a blocker, if nothing else. Yep, we'll take the 2 down to 13. Second main. Land. Tis a swamp. And holding 5. Alright, I'm going to scry draw exile. Blue. Consign. Alright. End step, draw Sire. Ice Till. Resolves. I'll grab the Wooded Foothill, Mill, and Misty Rainforest Mill. There's Temple. We'll pass at this point. We have enough for Sire next turn. Opponent might just tap out and go for Riddler. We'll see. Black does mean they have Edict, they have Bowmaster. Pushes off lines, I'm not too worried about that right now. Yeah, if I just held up the K command, it would have been a bit of a different story. But it's possible they wouldn't have cast the Harbinger into the open board and would have held Consign or Counterspell, etc. No, they definitely don't have a Counterspell, so Consign, yes, they had for the K command. So I guess they just would have delayed things by a turn. 4 mana Subtlety. Otawara. Otawara, the Impulse back is fine. I'm not too pressed about that. Surprised actually they didn't Otawara the Ice Till. Riddler, draw a card, up to 3 in hand. So this gives me free reign for the Sire. There's Bajuka Bog. I will go Verdant Cat Mill and Temple Mill. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's start with Talisman. Do you want to force it? You will. Pitching Kaido. That is huge. We'll play Sire. And pass. No attacks. And pass. Yeah, seeing the Kaido out is huge because of the Sire here. Windswept Teeth. We'll pull Shifting Wood. Ghost Quarter. There's Lab. I'm trying to think here if there's any way for them to get to them killing the Sire. I don't think there is. So we're going to attack in for 7. Down to 13, up to 19. We will pass. And pass. Tameo, sure. Flooded Strand, sure. Passing, draw Rumble. I will play Rumble. Counterspell. 'Tis a counterspell. In that case, do I want to keep on playing lands here? I'm not sure I do, because 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I think we are fine just attacking in with the Sire at this rate. But it will draw 2. 'Tis notable. Down to 6, which forces them to block next turn. 2 cards in hand. Kaido's no longer an answer, neither is Shieldred's Edict. Opponent could attack with Tameo, flip Tameo prior to combat. Gets a clue, cracks the clue. Okay, we're gonna block. Imagine you've cracked the clue now. Yep. Flips the Tameo. They can plus Tameo and get Sire to 6 damage. They still are going to be forced to block. Pluses. And second Harbinger. So they can go Riddler, Harbinger, or double Harbinger, but I think they have to leave one Harbinger back. K command. So we attacking with both. They could just double. Actually, no. Yeah, they don't even need to block the ice still because they would double block, take 2, 3. They'd leave the Riddler back. They have the Shield Edict, so we actually don't want to give them the ice still. So we can go to combat and swing for 6, forcing them to block. They know full well they can't give me the Harbingers, though, so they have to give me Riddler and Harbinger. And we'll in turn take the Riddler. So attack you. Tammy will trigger. You have to give me Riddler at this point. There's no way you give me double Harbinger. Yeah, I was about to say. I think the Riddler is the better pick here. Yes. We're up to 32. And at that point, I'll pass. 3 mana. Sink. Okay, so opponent's going to go, at this point, minus Tameo, pick up Edict. Okay. I wonder in that case if the right move could have been to attack the Tameo of both Ice Till and... No, because they wouldn't... Actually, maybe that would have been the right call. In retrospect, that may have been the right call, and the reason being is that they would have been forced then to give me both of the Harbingers. No, I guess they could have... Harbinger, Riddler, Harbinger. No, I guess it would have been both because I still have been a 1/4. Regardless, we'll take 4 down, or yeah, 4 down to 28. I'm gonna draw. We see Devour. We're short on green sources now, so I'll pass. Not much I can do about that. Maybe I should have kept on milling to find the second forest. Shit. Tameo plus, and they can then start picking up Consign in a turn. We're going to die to Harbinger Beats. Draw Breaker. We are going to cast Breaker. Breaker will break your swamp. Try and cut you on black sources. 3/4 mana subtlety. Subtlety's fine. The question then becomes, do we put Breaker on top? Because Tameo can minus, pick up Consign. We would then replay Breaker. They would consign Breaker. We have no way towards recursion, but they're going to pick up the Consign anyways. We'll put it on top. Black will be exile. They have 1 in hand. And we're looking at 7 damage down to 17. I'll play the Windswept Teeth and pass. Yeah, it would have been the same outcome. So attacking the Tameo wouldn't have mattered. The only thing that may have mattered would be to try and have milled towards another forest. That we could have recast the Ice Till this turn. Tameo will pick up the Consign, as expected. So we're going to take 7 down to 17. They have 3 cards in hand. We will recast the Breaker. We'll go after your basic island at this point, though I guess that doesn't matter. So we'll go after sewers. And we'll pass. So we're going to see the Consign go off. Take another 7 down to 10. We desperately need to find a solution here. One has 2 cards in hand. Funny enough, forcing the Talisman, while I was happy to see the Kaido go, does mean we can't recur the Breaker. So 7 out of 10 finds Ugin. Okay. I will play the Bajuka Bog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ugin. Ugin exiles Subtlety. Yield all. Force or Consign? Could be Counterspell. It is a Consign, though. So Ugin is out. We'll take another 7 down to 3. Do I have a solution here? I think Emrakul. We've already seen 1. Did we see a second one on Exile? We have not. They have 3 cards in hand. We're down to 3. Talisman is not an answer. We will concede. Damn. Trying to think if we could have played that any differently. There is some thought to potentially trying to dig for the second forest to replay the Ice Till and just keep that as an option. Them forcing the Talisman really hurt, because then we couldn't recur Breaker. We couldn't then get to a second Talisman off the Devour. The counterspell for the Rumble is also really good. I mean, everything kind of went up towards opponent. Again, we could have attacked the Tameo with Sire plus Ice Till. Ice Till would have been a 1/4, so they could have just blocked it with a Harbinger. We would have taken out the Riddler, and the Tameo would have still stood for them to then Otawara to Edict. So I don't think that would have mattered, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't think there's much we could have done there. Unfortunate. Alright. You win some, you lose some. We'll be back for match number 2. Alright, and we're back for match number 2 on the draw for game 1. So we have, what, 4, 8, 10, 5 deep. We'll keep, reveal, and pass. Looking for a forest to forest equivalent for the MTGO on 2. Misty Rainforest, fetch 19 4, Overrun Tomb Shock 17. Birds, this is Devoted Druid. Devour trigger, seize the forest. We will go Forest Sprawl, greener for red. Red might be better here. I'm gonna go red, we'll pass and pass. Because what we really want here is the potential for a K return or heat off the Druid and sweep the board, I think. Our game one's going to be very K return, heat, and K command reliant. Overgrown Tomb Shock 15 for Badgermole Cub on Tomb. Yeah, like a K return here would be a huge blowout in our favor. We'll draw, lab, short. We can hope and pray, basically. So the thought here is we can go Temple MTGO into Temple. That way we can go Lab into Devour next turn, but I'm not hopeful for our chances here. Yield all. Grab Temple. We also could go fetch Commercial District on the off chance that we try and find a way for District into K return. That is also another consideration, actually. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll pass and pray we even get another turn. Because opponent has a ton of mana available to them. Goes Domain, 4 in hand. Nature's Rhythm, GSC gets us. Vizier in hand gets us. There's so... Oh, Nature's Rhythm doesn't necessarily get... Or, sorry. GSC doesn't necessarily get us. Nature's Rhythm absolutely gets us. Because, at least with GSC, they still need to find the payoff, whereas Nature's Rhythm guarantees the payoff. So... The biggest thing is now, if we do Devour, what do we target? The Druid or Cub? The Druid definitely is the keystone to their overall game plan, but the Cub generating a ton of mana here. But I think we have to go after the Druid just to take it offline. Our game 2 will hopefully be better with 2 Cage plus a 2 Cage plus Whale. I'm trying to think what else. For Druid, yeah, 2 Cage plus Whale. We could maybe argue TKS, but we're already cutting the Ice Till package. Bobble. I guess we could drop Ugin and a Speaker for the TKS. I'm just not sure how fragile the combo is to seize effects. Maybe it's fragile enough that TKS could be worth. Because, like, on the play, I could see TKS definitely, as we're able to play on 2 ahead of Druid. But I feel like they just have so much redundancy between GSE, Druid, Nature's Rhythm, that even if we take out Druid, then they have GSE or Rhythm as backup. But it looks like opponent has disconnected, so we are going to pause recording. Oh, they've reconnected pretty quickly. So, never mind. See, I'm not sure how much I like TKS into this matchup just based on the amount of redundancy. We're not exactly trying to bait anything out of hand either. So I think the TKS should remain in the side. We just go for the disruption off of Cage. Druid's going to untap. And tap again. That's 4 mana, 6 mana, 8 mana, 9 mana. Okay, there's a Dryad Arbor. And is this Nature's Rhythm? GSC 8. Is this Crater Hoof? Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Untap. So that's 11, 15. Actually, maybe not fine. 11, 15, 23. Never mind, not fine. When this creature enters, creatures you control. Oh, interesting. Well, creatures you control gain trample and trample. So 8, 12, 23. Yep, exactly enough. We'll concede. Rip. Right, let's go to sideboard. So Cajun, Whale in, K-Return stays, Ice Till package is out, Paducah Box stays. What else comes out? That's right, we're running an extra land. Or actually Bobble comes out. Doy. Bobble comes out, and we're on it back. Glad to be playing meta decks. I just wish that things were going a little bit better. Frog was close though. I feel like that definitely could have gone either ways, especially in game one. We're just digging and praying for a land and could not find one to save my godforsaken life. We definitely have a lot of interaction here in game two. The heat and returns were supposed to help game one, but we didn't see them, so it doesn't really matter. I think it also would have helped in an open deck list event for me to decide on mulligans a bit differently there. It's possible that I would have mulliganed that hand knowing we're playing into Druid, or we just did not have any interaction nor any path towards interaction. Even with the potential might go on 2, we're not guaranteed a turn 3, which we saw. But we'll be in play for game 2. We see Rumble. No interaction. We see Rumble, which can dig for Cage, but I think he mulligan this. That is somehow worse. We'll mulligan again. Oh my word. That's... So, what is happening? Oh god. We're running 22 lands. 23 lands, actually. I guess 22 once we take out the Ghost Quarter, but shit. Wow. Down to 3. I'll keep. I think we have to hope for a temple off top. And that was rough. Like 2 no-landers. That is not something that happens often. Yeah, because we did not keep the first one. Like, maybe I should have at that point. Maybe that's the deck saying, you should have kept the friggin' 4-lander plus acceleration. Like, it was 0 interaction, but at least there was something. Alright, we're gonna go with Bird, or GSE 0. Bird. Do we have a temple? We have a Sprawl. Sprawl is not a temple. We'll go red and pass. K-Return off top is appealing here. Temple Garden Shock. 18. 3 mana Tyvar. Tyvar minus. Tyvar untap Bird for halfling. Halfling tap. Nope, no halfling tap. Megaspawn. Megaspawn doesn't get there. We'll pass. And I suppose we should represent that we could have something, so we'll hold. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Green. Is it Druid? It is Druid. Untap. And is this Nature's Rhythm? And we concede. That's so unfortunate. Alright. Well, our sideboard cards are great, but can't do much if we can't play Magic, and we're not able to play Magic. We'll be back for match number 3. Alright, and we're back for match number 3. On the draw for game 1, Strand passed, Devour a bit late to the party. So the question becomes, do we go Temple or District here? The benefit of going Temple is that we then have potential K-Command X 2/2, but the downside is we have no green sources for the Mega Spawn follow-up, so we'll go District start. District start, Surveil, see Speaker. Speaker's not bad here. I'll put it on top and pass. Fledgestrand, fetch 19, Surveil. No, Triumph. So this is looking like Zoo. Hollow Fountain Shock, 17, though. Riddler. Warp and draw. Speaker, Temple. Triumph. Hollowed Fountain. Riddler. Oh, is this... Could this be Birthing Writ? I wonder if this is Omnath Birthing Writ. If so, there's not much we can do here. I'm gonna go K-Command, Ram, Scry, draw. And done. K-Command, top, draw, pass, and hold. We'll hold. Worst case scenario here is that I'm correct. Frog is fine, so not Omnath Birthing Writ. We'll play Sanctum. I'm going to go K-Command, ramp, and exile the Frog. Frog is down, and we'll pass and hold. Fledgestrand. So definitely not Omnath Birthing Writ with like the Hell Kites, yada yada yada. I'm not sure what this is actually. Like, does Goryo's play in Indatha Triumph? Pest Control main. We'll sack in response. Phase change, 3 down. Draw Myco. So we have a few different options here. We can go Myco into Temple. That then gives us access to Breaker, Devour, Kicked Myco. I think that is the route we'll go. So we will cast Zimiko Spawn. Pest Control main. Man, the meta seems so weird right now. Like Consign main and Frog, Pest Control main, and whatever the hell this is. Well, tell me you have Consign main. What is happening right? Like, real talk. Consign's a great card, especially compared to Riddler, which by virtue of it being blue and Riddler being blue can be great together. But I'm very lost as to the amount of Consign main in non-blink decks, like Goryo's. Because not like Tron or Eldrazi in general is the bane of everyone's existence. Like, yeah, Brute Scale is going to see a decent amount of play. Yes, Fight Rigging should see a decent amount of play, but like, I don't... Consign is boggling me right now. We'll yield all. They're going to give me the body, which is fine. That's wild. 4 in hand. Why are we seeing so much Consign main? There's a Frog. Would love to see a Soul for Devour Exile Frog. We'll draw. There's a Lab. That does work. I will imprint Ugin. And Ugin trigger, Devour target. Frog down. Ugin no. And we'll go to combat, swing for 3. I suppose this could be a flavor of Zoo. I've never seen this much Consign main. There's Binding, Target, Devour, fine. We have Breaker primed, so that is okay. We'll pass. Frog, Riddler, Binding. Down to 10. Swamp. So it's a 5-color pile. Push. I'm getting progressively more lost to what I'm playing against. Like, push main, consign main, pest control main. Like, the next thing you're going to tell me is that you play Bring to Light. What am I playing against? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We already have our fetch. I mean, we could just go Breaker, Break, Binding, and set up for lethal. Yeah, I think that's probably the correct play here, because what we can do here is basically cut them off at the pass. Because, well, Sanctum trigger, Breaker trigger, target binding yield all. We know that they have, not Frog, Ragavan plus Riddler Prime. So I'll just crack the Sanctum at that point, pick up Devour. I think this is Zoo. I do not know anymore. Okay. So, I mean, we saw Riddler, so Heat stays. We saw Frog, we saw Ragavan. If we're assuming that it's a Zoo variant, a very weird Zoo variant, we'd probably want to keep Ice Still for Charmal. I'm just not sure about the K returns. Nature's Claim Boseiju seems appealing, but Jukaba can come out. Again, we are accidentally running 61 cards because I forgot to cut the 4th forest. TCAS seems medium here. But the Nature's Claim for the Leyline Binding makes sense. The Heats for the for Riddler makes sense. Bobble out though. So what do we want to bring in for Bobble? Warping Wheel, no. I mean, yeah, they have pest control, but I don't think we need to really be too concerned about that. I say as we're gonna get blown up by freaking pest control. Maybe we keep a K return in? That doesn't seem good, though. Maybe bring in a TKS run a pack like that. Like, the other thought is Phage Mystery, but I haven't seen a single sign of Draco, so other than the Leyline Bind, I'm not sure what the Fade would be hitting. There's the Nature's Claim. We don't have any acceleration. So, like, yeah, we have interaction, but no acceleration. I'm pretty sure this is a pitch. We will mulligan. We see acceleration. We see interaction. We see ramp. I think we actually drop the TKS and run it like this. Triumph tapped, 5 in hand. Rumble. Let's go lab, imprint, and pass, and hold. Pluto Delta fetch 19. Kavu? So it is a strange version of Zoo. Weird. Lab. We will rumble. Rumble finds temple. Take the temple. This way we can try and kick a Myco. Because that way we can drop Triumph and try and reduce the size of Kavu. The worst case scenario here is Mountain into Charmal, however. Kavu will discard a card to draw a card. Discards Hedge Maze. Sure, we'll take 5 down to 15. 4 cards in hand. Second main, and the next concern, of course, if they just pass with all mana up, is Consign. Second Kavu's fine. Again, we can shrink the Kavu. Go to end step, draw another Temple, so we can try and set up for Sire soon. Mega Spawn kick, target Triome, yield all. Do you has a Consign in hand? I feel like if you did, you may have not played the second Kavu. Though maybe I'm incorrect. There's Martial Arts Fetch for a blue source. Watergrave Shock, 14. 2, 3, 4, 5. They give me a land. There's the Consign. I'm surprised he played the second Kavu. I'm not gonna lie. We will go Temple. This way we can prime the Sire, because if Sire lands, they would need a binding. So we'll be able to chump Mega Spawn, go down to 10. Discard, draw a card, discard, draw a card, discards, Leyline of the Guild Pact, discards, swamp. We'll then block. Sorry, I had to step away for a second there. What the hell was I doing? Right, we were trying to go for Sire here, Frog. Got a little bit distracted. TLDR, Cat was going to the restroom, and I need to observe them. They have decided that doesn't matter how high the litter box walls are, they'll find a way to piss over them. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. So if we go Sire here, we die outright to Binding. We could instead go Devour, which would allow me to exile Kavu. Yeah. If they then Binding, I think that would be fine. So I think we do want to go Devour here. Though actually, let's do this. Devour target Kavu. Yield all. This way we also have a mana up for Rumble. We Rumble. Yes, Butter, Rumble. Yes, Rumble. There's Stubborn Denial, that's fine. We'll then pass. Fledged Fetch Surveil, I'd imagine. I wonder if there's some thought to have exiling the frog. Oh no, again, if we had exiled the frog and not the Kavus, then again, a binding just outright kills us. We'll pass. Next turn we can go Sire. We could have potentially grabbed Emrakul, yeah. There is some thought to that. We'll take one down to 9. Paying cost for second frog. Second frog is fine. We'll draw. I will return Sire. Play Sanctum. And cast Sire. Trigger Sanctum. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We'll say yes. And grab Emrakul. It resolves. We'll pass. No attacks. We're still not dead to Binding, which is good. End step. Paying cost. Because of a Binding Sire here, that's still fine, because we're not dead. So this worked out. They're down to 7, or down to 6 rather, which means they can't attack out unless they die to Devour. Second binding, we're still not dead. We're down to 2. Oh, actually, shit. Hold on. How many types do I have in yard now? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're 1 short. So I now need a Summon Device spell or Temple. And there's a Sign of Draco. Oofda. Draw into Nature's Claim. That is interesting. Does that save me? We are at 9. Yes. They don't have anything right now. Guys, we could try and blow them out and do it after they attack. And that still might be correct. Otherwise, we can Nature's Claim the Binding on Sire now, but then we can't attack. Nature's Claim does up the number of types in Yard, though, enough that we will be able to play the Emrakul. So the only way around this, I think, would either be A, a dashed Ragavan, or B, another Binding. I'll Nature's Claim the Binding now. Put Stomping Ground tapped. And this now means we have Emrakul primed next turn. Oh no, we're still dead, aren't we? I just realized, because they can just pitch a card to Frog, damn it. Yeah. Pitch Blood Crypt, so then we block Kavu, we take 6, but then... Oh no, we're up to 9, never mind, we're fine. We're okay. This is fine. This is still fine, first strike damage is fine. Yep, up to 9. Take 6, down to 3. Yep. Or down to 2, rather. Yep, we're good. Alright. In that case, let's start by going to combat. Swing for 7. Down to 6. We'll play a land. Actually, let's do it like this, just to represent that we could have another Nature's Claim. Emrakul triggers. Do you have a consign? Pain cost. There is consign. We'll pass. Unfortunate. Okay. 1 card in hand will pass. We're still alive, lest they have another binding. Opponent's not going to attack. We'll go to end step and draw K command. So Frog can go up to a 4/5. So not enough to kill Sire. I guess they can't binding now. That's right, because of Ward 7. I suppose we could attack first and see how they block, go to the K command, and see if we can just end things. We'll go lab. Done. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go to attacks. Attack for 7. Block. You have to block with 2. Nope, it has menace. I know, a lot of types. It still has menace, friend. And Sign of Draco. This actually presents lethal. Well, I guess they can still pitch 2 cards to Frog. Well, no, I guess we don't care about Frog. Well, no. So it's still not lethal. We can crack at Draco. And we'll just scoop it up. Okay, we'll take the win. Very weird zoo list. Very, very weird zoo list. Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about it. That said, we'll be back for match number 4. Alright, we're back for match 4 on the play for game 1. We'll keep Reveal Devour. So we're gonna go Devour start, likely into Rumble. Trigger sees K command Myco. I do like both of those. I think I'm going to take the Myco though. We are then going to go Temple Pass and pass. What are we playing against? Tis the question. What a grave, shock 18. Thoughtseize takes Rumble, in which case then we'll go District. Not what I wanted to see, but definitely was a possibility. We will then surveil. Lab. Next turn we do this, and then we can play either of you. So I'm going to say Lab Yard and pass. And pass. Darkslick Shores, Casting Frog? No. So this looks like Frog. Second Myco, good. We will then cast Myco, yield all. Do you have Consign Main? I'm very tired of seeing Consign Main, but we do not see it, so I'll go with Temple. No counter spells, we'll pass. We have Kicked Mycospawn, Breaker, Devour lined up. Even if they do have Harbinger, we will be able to play Mycospawn as blocker and Threat to ramp into the Breaker. Blue-black, Bowmaster, target me, down to 19. Sure. We'll pass. Tis fine, tis fine. 6 cards in hand. Question becomes, do we go Myco Kick? Well, they actually might take Devour Breaker instead of Myco, because I don't think they should take Breaker, because Breaker has Recursion, so it's either Devour or Myco. I think they might want to take the Myco, because we can go Myco Kick into Sanctum. Yeah, but taking Breaker is the wrong choice. Between that, I think you could argue Myco or Devour. I think Myco might be the better choice, grand scheme, but we'll see. Takes the... I was just saying Breaker is the wrong choice, just by virtue of it having recursion. No, should I have a third Thoughtseize? Riddler. Riddler, draw a card, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, we'll just go Myco Kick then. No reason to play the Devour here. So we will go Mycospawn Kick. They did grab a basic swamp. There's a thought here to hitting the swamp to cut them off of black in case of a Harbinger, though also taking them off double blue. We'll go for the double blue, and we'll grab... No reason to go Bajuka Bog, I don't think. We'll grab Sanctum. Play Misty, go to combat, swing for 3, push you down to 10 unless you want to block. No blocks, down to 10. Next turn, Devour's primed. There's an island. You have the Harbinger. Preordain, you do not. Tis fine. Bottom, draw. Wonder if this could be Wan-Shi Tong. We haven't seen anything that suggests that it is, but maybe I should play around it being a possibility. Regardless, I don't imagine you attack. If you do, you have push. You do not. We'll go to end step. Fetch. We do not need to go for a basics. We're going to go Stomping Ground tapped and draw. There's Ice Till. Can't really go that direction. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One short breaker. I will start by going to combat and swing for 6. No blocks, down to 4. I will. What do we are? 1, 2. So no route to Ice Till to Devour. So in that case, we're just going to go Devour. 1, 2, 3. Sanctum trigger, Devour trigger, target Bowmaster. Do you have a consign? You have no consign. Could still have Harbinger theoretically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Short 1. I suppose if we go for Devour and they don't have anything, otherwise we could go Sire, could go Breaker. Emrakul's not the right choice. If they go Harbinger, they're forced to block. So I think we will go Devour. Alright, and we'll pass. And pass. Yeah, we should be in a pretty good position here, because Harbinger, they're going to be forced to block anyways, which would then give me either another Devour or Ice Till. If they play a blocker that we need to dispatch, we just play the Devour, exile the Orc Army, or what have you. This seems fine. Keeps the card on top. 4 cards in hand. Casting Frog. Frog will get exiled to Devour. We win. Okay, so this might be Bowmaster, because we exile the Orc Army. They Bowmaster target me, then Orc Army. 4, 5, 6. So we're short there. I think we do just go for it. Devour, target the Orc Army. I feel like they have another Orc Army in hand, or rather Bowmaster in hand, but they say no and concede. For now, I'm going to say this is Frog, not Wan Shi Tong. We'll go to sideboard, keep the Bauble in, keep Heat in, return out. Given that I'm assuming Frog, we'll assume Tameo, Bajukabog stays. We could drop Ghost Quarter and bring in TKS. TKS seems reasonable. Transfer seems semi-reasonable. We'll run it back like this. Warping Wheel, not so much. Alright, yeah, this looks good. On the draw for game 2, I'd imagine. Opening hand. I mean, a little bit of acceleration will go a long way here. I will keep Reveal Devour and pass. Looking for Talisman, looking for Sprawl, K-Command, Rumble, Watergrave, Shock 18, Thoughtseize? Thoughtseize. Takes Myco Spawn would be my guess here. So, looking for Rumble, looking for K-Command, I think at this point. Speaker as well would work, actually. Devour trigger, we see... I'll go with Bauble. We also could pitch 4, draw fresh. And I'll draw fresh. Breaker, not exactly what I wanted to see there. I will go Lab, Imprint. They already know everything in hand except for the Breaker, so I'll just Imprint Zeugen and pass. I guess I could have went Stomping Ground tap just to play around the potential break the ice. But then that means that we don't have option for K-Command X212. Give and take, I suppose. Marsh Flats. Fetch 15. Swamp. Frog. Frog resolves. We shall draw. Draw Ghost Quarter. Not what we're looking for. I'll play the Temple, represent K-Command X2. And we'll hold. They did fetch Swamp on 2, suggesting that Harbinger definitely is an option for them. Frog will connect, draw a card, down to 19, up to 6 in hand. Otawara, that is Harbinger mana. And Harbinger. We'll retrieve Ugin and pass. They are islands. We'll draw, rumble, play a forest, and rumble. Do you have a force? There is force, pitching spell snare. At this point, we'll pass. Definitely looking like a loss here on 2. We'll pass. Thoughtseize. Yep, a whole lot of nothing. Breaker and Ugin are the best choices here. Devour's the worst choice. Hi, Butter. Hello to you, too. And chooses the Devour. Sure. We'll take 3 down 16. They'll draw a card up to 3 in hand. Opponent keeps on choosing what I, in my opinion, believe are the worst options. Very weird. Well, I guess actually, yeah, the Devour is definitely the worst option. That is a K command. We'll play the Stomping Ground and pass. K command's dead. And Ugin Breaker are 3 turns off. Not a good position for us to be. What say you, opponent? I do wonder if there was a world where going Ghost Quarter target Swamp would have been correct, but my best guess is they're probably running 2 Swamps, 1 Island for basics. Or else we'll take 3 down to 13 all unless they pitch the Frog. They are pitching the Frog. Kited a Frog. Why would you do that? That seems really weird. Why would you not just cast Kaido second main? Draw Talisman. We will cast Talisman. Do you has Counter Magic? Counter Spell? Counter Spell. We'll play and pass. 2 turns off Breaker Ugin, but I don't foresee them resolving. We'll pass. Yeah, if that Talisman had resolved, that would definitely been really good, because we would be 1 land off of Breaker Ugin, but no such luck. We'll take 4 down to 8. Alright. Opponent does have lethal on board. Black sees... Nope, Frog. I'm pretty sure if they play a Frog here, we just lose. I don't think we can actually do anything if they play another Frog. Riddler. Oh, you could pitch the Frog. You don't pitch the Frog, you just draw 1. Okay. Land. 3 in hand. Riddler Warp. Again, representing lethal here. K command, and we'll concede. Oofda. Alright, let's go to game 3. We'll run it back as is. I don't think Warping Will is correct to bring in against Thoughtseize. I don't think that is correct. We'll be able to play for game 3. That is a mulligan. That's a mulligan too. What are these hands today? I will keep. We're down to 5. Forest Sprawl. We keep a pitch K command. The question is what we pitch after. I think I pitch Myco. Pitch Myco. Go Forest. Sprawl. Sprawl red or green? We go red. Pass. And pass. This way we have a red source available. There is some thought to going Misty Fetch for another basic forest and enable Ice Till. Marsh Flats does, well, there's heat, does represent the possibility for Spell Snare. I don't think I care about heat right now. I think I want to play around Spell Snare, go Speaker, pitch heat. We'll fetch for another forest. Cast Speaker, you can sign the trigger. My thought here is, unless they Subtlety me, we go Speaker, pitch, heat, pick up Ice Till. Speaker resolves, trigger. Do you have a consign? No consign, pitch, heat, pick up Ice Till. We'll pass. They could Marsh Flats fetch push, though I feel like they should have probably cut push post board. Surveil. Surveil's fine. Frog Tiard. That's surprising. Why Frog Tiard? Unless they're not planning on playing anything on 2. So they might be holding up counter magic then. We'll draw into TKS. With that in mind, that they could probably be holding up counter magic, I think we rumble here. I'd like this Ice Till to resolve. Spell Snare? We had the correct read on Spell Snare. We'll go to combat and swing for 2. So we had the correct read on Spell Snare. We likely have the correct read on Counterspell as well, though. So I almost want to see a color source so we can TKS. I will say, definitely wondering if Cavern Souls might be better than the first Besage on the side. Frog, okay. Holding up Consign, but we should be able to resolve Ice Till. End step, draw. Bajuka Bog. We'll tap, untap. And cast Ice Till. You have a Subtlety. No Subtlety. Misty Mill. Might go fetch Misty down to 18. We'll go Forest Mill. Might go Misty Mill. Heat to Yard, and at that point we will pass. Imagine they float Frog here. You'll fetch on end step to Surveil. Right now they have no black sources for Harbinger, or no basic swamps for Harbinger, so I'm doubtful that we see... Never mind. We could see Harbinger here. Thought CC's TKS, that's fine. TKS down. It wasn't castable anyways. They know about Bajuka Bog. We haven't seen Tameo yet, so it's possible they're not playing it. You know, that we've just gotten lucky so far. But we do have the Bajuka Bog primed in case of. They could go Harbinger here. Float Frog. Frog will connect down to 17. They'll draw a card up to 4 in hand. Down to 7. Frog will draw up to 4. Second main. End step. Fetch and Surveil. Alright. Mill Surveil. Theoretically, you could consign this if you really want. I'm not going to say no. Heal it all. Sprawl Tiard. Devour. No colorless sources, but we'll keep it on top. See if we can dig into one. I'll go Misty Mill. Windswept Teeth. Misty Fetch for the 4th Forest. And mill. Whiffing hard. Misty Fet or Misty Mill. And there's the temple. 1 card late. No point in fetching now. There's a point to leaving back a blocker, so we will attack with the Ice Till, but not the Speaker. This will force them to pitch cards to float Frog, if nothing else. Now 13, end step. Worst case scenario here is Harbinger, but also just having a Consign in hand would be pretty devastating. So if they want to float the Frog, they're going to have to pitch 2 to float. Otherwise, we're going to block with a Speaker. Land, Island, 5. Could hardcast a Riddler here. That would be advantageous for me. Because they then pitch their hand, the Frog, draw some cards, yada yada, but we'd have free reign on the Devour. Pitch out land of Frog up to 2. Pitch Sink to Frog up to 3. He floating. He floating. Alright, you'll attack for 3 down to 12 and draw a card. Up to 3 in hand, second main. Any follow-up? We're gonna go down to 11 on end step. Fetch. Stomp tapped. Mill. K command, that's unfortunate. We'll draw. Lab. Play Temple Mill. K command. Criminy. And at this point, how do we want to proceed? I mean, I think we just play the Devour and pray, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We could see Breaker off of Mill. We have 1 Stomping Ground, so we would need to trigger fetch Stomping Ground tap, though. If we really wanted to do that. I think it's just better to play the Devour here. Devour, target Frog. Do you has Consign? I'd imagine you do, given you haven't been playing anything. You have Interaction in hand. There is the Consign. Or maybe not. There's Consign. We'll replicate. Yep. Yield all. In that case, I'll attack with Ice Till. Leave Speaker as a blocker. Down to 11 all. Bajukabog target you. Ice will trigger and mill. So they have to pitch their entire freaking hell, the Ugin. Have to pitch their entire hand to float over Speaker. We'll hold that. That way we can represent having heat, even though we only have 2 in deck. So if they want to float, they have to pitch their hand. If they don't choose to float, we block. 3, 4. This Riddler. Again, they would have to tap out for that. 4. Looks like Riddler. They'll pitch. Oh no, draw 3. Okay. So they don't have to pitch their entire hand, but they are pretty tapped on resources. So they can pitch 2 more, keep 3 in hand, hit me for 5 down to 6. But now we do need to find something here. Another Devour, another Ugin, Emrakul. I need something for this frog. Alright, pitch a TK, or Thoughtseize. Pitch a Sheoldred's Edict. We'll then Float Frog. Yep. Not much we can do about that. Attack for 5, down to 6. They have lethal on board. They'll draw a card with a 4 in hand. Second main. End step and draw. So our only hope here is Breaker. Or, potentially Shifting Wood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. I guess we're going to go for it. So Misty, fetch in response to the trigger, down to 5, Stomping Ground tap, double mill. Devour, Ugin. Alright, so our only option here is Lab, trigger no imprint, Breaker, and Concede. Unfortunate. Could not find an answer. We kept on milling over the things we wanted. We saw Ugin, we saw Devour, we saw K commands. We just could not find what we actually wanted. So unfortunate. Alright, well, not much you can do about that. With that being said, we'll be back for match number 5. Alright, back 4, match 5, on the draw. We'll keep this. So we want to go Wooded Foothill, fetch Sprawl. We'll drop 10. We are going to drop the Lab. We'll keep and pass. Sacred Foundry, Shock 18 for Dwarven Mauler. I will go Wooded Foothill, fetch for a forest, Sprawl for... Do we need to go red? We also don't need to go green, so we'll go red. And pass, and pass. We have a Cake Man X2. Equipped abilities activate. The target of this creature costs 2 less to activate. What in the what? Interesting. Okay. You know, I thought you may have been joking when you said dwarves, but you are most certainly playing dwarves. Huh. Arena of Glory for company. Look at the top 4. May reveal a dwarf or equipment. Huh. That sure is a thing you can do. Another company. I'll attack for 2 down to 17. Go to end step, draw lab. I'll play temple, hold K command, X equals 2. I think I want to go ramp Scrydraw here unless they force me to do otherwise. Plains for what? Mox Opal. Now I'm getting a bit concerned that this could be Hammer. White, Sigardazade, Colossus Hammer. Battlefield Tactics incoming? Okay, let me read this card. As long as you have an enduring story, you may pay 0 rather than pay an equipment's cost for the first equipped ability each turn. Draw a card, triggers once each turn. So how do you get storied? Hold on. MTG Wiki. I need to read how you get storied. What is this mechanic? Storied? So enduring storied. Threshold mechanic uses the same 3 things as Historic Batch, cares about artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. So I can't do anything about this. Okay. So it'll enter. Enduring Story. And now you can equip Hammer to Company. Yes. Hammer doesn't have any other text other than 10/10, loses flying. Yes. We could just go ramp block, but I think we need to K command exile scry draw? Question mark? Yeah, hate this. Go to combat, you'll attack. I will scry draw exile you. Done. Ice Till Lab. I don't really care for the Ice Till right now, if I'm being completely honest, because they're just going to equip the Colossus Hammer. So, what's the play here? I'm thinking bottom draw. That's not what I want either. We'll take 2 down to 15. We'll draw Sprawl. Jesus, man. Yikes. I will go Windswept Teeth. We'll go Sprawl. I'll go green. We'll play Bauble. And I'll pray that I have another turn. Maybe going Ramp Scryjaw would have been better, just to block. We would have had more blockers, but I was hoping that we're going to see something like a K return, heat, or something. Portable Hole, targeting what? Bauble? I will crack Bauble in response. Draw the Temple and Criminy. Not liking that. My freaking luck today has been god-awful. You can haste the company. Are we dead on board? If you haste the company, yeah, I'm dead on board. Shit. Because that is 5 plus 10. Wild. Oh, and they find another hammer. Even more wild. Pay the equip cost of the first equipment you play, each activated ability. As haste. Yeah, we're just dead. We are just dead. Dead. So I guess if we had Ramp Scrydraw, we would have been able to stick on board. I still Mega Spawn. We just had nothing. Christ. Okay. So Beseiju, Nature's Claim, yes. Bajuka Bog, no. Ghost Quarters, probably no. Though I guess they do have Arena of Glory. They're playing red. I don't think there's a world where they have Charmaw, but there's a non-zero chance. K-Return stays, Unholy Heat stays. Like, I'm tempted to cut the Ice Doll. I just feel like I'm gonna get ultra punished for it. They seem pretty low to the ground. We could consider Trinosphere in... Like, Bogs, no. Ghost Quarters, no. Grafdiggers, no. Whale, I think, is a no, but I could be mistaken. At least Whale does present a potential way to exile something. Bauble hits Opal, but I think that's about it, right? So maybe we go Bauble out, bring in TKS? Put it back like this. On the play for game 2, there's a Nature's Claim, there's acceleration to kicked Mycospawn. We will keep. Pretty sure we can land Ugin, we win. We'll get the hold K command, we get the hold Nature's Claim. And go green, and pass, and pass. Portable Hole, Hammer, and the Storied Creature. Saga for Hammer. Plays, Hammer. Don't like that. I could do a lot here, one of which just being that we Nature's Claim the Saga. Alternatively, just kick the Myco spawns. I'm going to Lab, Imprint, Ugin, Hold K Command, Nature's Claim. I guess in retrospect, I should have kept the Ghost Quarter for Saga. Yeah. We'll hold K Command, Nature's Claim, Saga trigger. So they play the storied creature. We are going to have to go after the Saga, yes? Portable Hole. Portable Hole will resolve, targeting the Sprawl. We will tap for double green. We're going to phase change. We are going to phase change. I'm going to ramp and scry draw. X equals 2. Sprawl bottom, temple top draw. Opal. So you can go the storied creature. This is fine. You can equip hammer to it. That is fine. Alright. We'll draw into Devour. So we could Devour the Resourceful, but I think we instead go Myco Kick. Myco Kick. Let's drop the Saga. Yield all. So Saga down. And I think we're going to grab a fetch here. Yes. And pass, hold Nature's Claim. Saga triggers. Don't love that, but fine. Go to combat, attack. I will go to blocks. Trying to think if there's anything that they could potentially do here that would scare me. We're going to go to blocks. We're going to block before damage. We're going to fetch for a forest. And Nature's Claim target hammer. Hammer down to blocks, damage, resourceful's out. Dragonfire Blade. Hexproof from Monocolor. Okay. End step and draw TKS. I mean, you could play Devour, hit Portable Hole. I'm not really feeling that, so I think we are going to just go with TKS here. TKS enters. We see Blood Moon, strip Blood Moon. I will then play 1, 2, 3. Lab Imprint 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Imprint Devour. Give ourselves some options. Attack with Myco. Down 19. Saga will trigger. Only Mountain. 1 card in hand. They can make a construct. The construct will be a 4/4, which is notable. I will retrieve Ugin and draw forest. I will play the forest. Do I want to hold up a stomping ground for heat and Nature's Claim? Maybe. Though actually, we could do it like this. Ugin target Portable Hole. And then we will sprawl red, attach to the untapped forest. Ugin will enter. We'll plus Ugin draw. There's Breaker. There's no reason for me to attack here, so I'm going to pass. We'll make a construct. Does a 3/3. Make another construct. Does a 4/4. Grab a hammer, question mark? Grab a Shadow Spear. Question is what breaker I'll break. At the end of the day, the Ugin needs to be answered. They could grab a skateboard, I suppose. Tap TKS, haste the construct. Yep. For each color the creature is targeting. Taps the Micro Spawn, that way they can draw a card. Makes sense. Equip to the construct, the haste it. Yep. One bit of blocks. Not much we can do about that. At Ugin, we go to blocks, we block. Give you an extra card. Not what I want to be doing, but what I need to be doing. Second main, 3 in hand, land for turn, and passing. Draw on the Beseiju. I will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Ugin plus draw. To the Stomping Ground. I will cast the Breaker. Breaker or break. Ugin will trigger, no targets. Break or break, target a construct. We'll hold up Beseiju. No reason to play the Stomping Ground. We'll go to combat, swing for 3. Arid Mesa, fetch Surveil, down to 15. Alright. And hold Beseiju. Plays Arena of Glory, could haste something. Thankfully, Devoid. I guess Hexproof. Hexproof from Monocolor does not protection, which is good. That'd be much better for his protection. Create a dwarf. Tis fine. Do you haste the dwarf? You do. Alright, go to combat. Or not. Do you want to Besage the construct now? I don't think so. We'll draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll Ugin plus draw. Sprawl. Oofda. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, we can play the Devour, exile the Dwarf, attack on the Breaker. I think that's probably correct. Before we do that, though, we'll Sprawl, go for green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We will then Devour. Devour. Ugin. Yield all. We'll go Stomping Ground, tapped here, swing in for 5. Down to 10, up to 26. Beseiju will be primed. Like, I don't think they can just burst 26 damage out of nowhere, so I'm not too concerned there. I say that, I'm just going to get absolutely demolished by something. Shadow Spear is fine. To the 5/5. You can equip it. I mean, we have 9 toughness. So, like, you can equip it and skateboard to push it to 7. That's fine. Ooh. Rabana attacks. Thankfully, Rabana's not attacking. I don't imagine you attack either. End step, draw, Devour, Ugin plus, draw. Tis a Rumble. Let's start with Rumble. And I suppose we'll just take the Devour. I will then cast Devour. And Bone Swoops it up, we'll take the win. Alright, let's go to game 3. So we see Raban. So it is very Hammer-esque, but not as heavy on the Hammer game plan. Besage Nature's Claim are definite yeses. The Ghost Ward I think I do want to bring back, probably from a TKS here. Is there a world where we bring in Trinisphere? I think I'll just run it back like this. We also are going to want to play around Blood Moon, which we saw in game 2. That is interesting. I'll keep. I'd love to see a forest or forest equivalent here. Otherwise, we're going to go Rumble on 2. Arid Mesa. Devour a bit late to the party, though I will actually imprint you. Play the Talisman. And pass. Fetch 19 Surveil. Alright. We'll pass. So I guess we should hold to represent Nature's Claim. Heat, Mox Opal, sure. 2. Damning Sphere is fine. Less than ideal, but fine. There's Besage. We can pop the Sphere as needed, but I want to dig for another land. So we will Rumble. Rumble finds a forest. I'll grab the forest. Play the forest. And hold Besage you if needed. There is the Resourceful, that's fine. Land tapped, and we'll pass. Draw into Lab. I will start with... I want to proceed. So we can go 1, 2... Then it's going to cost 3 to Rumble, but I'd like to hold up a green source. So I think we just go Rumble here, hold up Beseiju. Yes, Rumble. Myco. Myco would cost 5. I think I'm going to go Temple, question mark? Yeah, we'll go Temple. Play Temple. Hold up Beseiju and pass. Four cards in hand. Next turn we have Breaker as well. Go to combat, swing for 1, down to 18. 'Tis fine. Question is whether or not we hit the Damping Sphere now. Wear Tear. In response, I'll float green. Before the phase change, I will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Sage of the Damping Sphere. End step and draw Shifting Wood. So we can go Shifting Wood 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Shifting Wood, play Sprawl. Sprawl for red. So potentially going double green might be correct. We'll go red. And Breaker. Breaker will break. So the story, if you control 3 more artifacts, you have an Enduring Star for the rest of the game. As long as you have an Enduring Story, you may pay 0. So you just have it for the rest of the game, even if I take out the Opal, which is frustrating. We'll take out the Arena of Glory then. Breaker will resolve, and we'll pass. Next turn we have Devour to exile Keeley. There's Blood Moon. That is unfortunate, but fine. Devour is offline. Sacred Foundry untapped and passing. Draws into K-Return. K-Return's perfect here. We'll play Lab. Cast Talisman. And I suppose at this point we'll just swing in for 5. Hold up the K-Return. Casting. Hammer. So I don't even want them to get the draw, right? Because whenever Dwarf or Equipment enters, draw a card. In that case, we will return, sweep Keeley, Hammer will enter, and Raban. Attacks. Oh god. Attach with the one target equipment you control to target attacking creature. Well, that's concerning. Oh, that's heat. Never mind. In that case, do we just heat now? Question mark. Heat Raban now. Pay life equal to its power, which is 2. Yes. Heat. Yield all. Yes. Raban down. Go to combat. Swing for 5. Down to 9. And pass. And pass. I don't want shenanigans like Battlefield Tactics getting there. Jesus Christ, another one. Oh, shit. Was not expecting that. So that is going to be 13 damage. Down to 2. 0 cards in hand and heat. Oh, he ain't doing shit here. You gotta be joking me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll pass. No attacks. You have to be fucking joking me. So we need a way to get rid of the Colossus Hammer. Like, they can't attach anything, so it's fine. We go to blocks, we block. Like, maybe, should I have just held the heat and not attacked? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, we have an interesting thought here. 6. So we have Emrakul mana. We have... We're one off of Breaker if we recur. We sacrifice a lab. We need to draw into a land, and from there we'd be able to then knock off the Colossus Hammer. Sire doesn't do anything. Devour doesn't do anything. Ugin doesn't do anything. The only answer in this position would be Emrakul or our second Breaker. K-Command could give us turns, granted that they do not draw into Shadowspear. What are the chances of us drawing into a land? We're running, what, 22? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 13 lands remaining. We have 2 Emrakuls. K-Command actually isn't out because we don't have another color source. I think we have to return the Breaker and pray. Alright, here we go. Sacrifice Lab. Retrieve the Breaker. We draw. Shit. And that is 1 mana short, and we lose. GG's. Yeah. I mean, should I have held? If I would have held the heat, right? Raban attacks. We hold the heat. Raban goes to equip the Colossus Hammer. We heat the Raban. That then means that we get another turn, at the very least, right? Because we can then draw an additional card. Shit. We would have gotten one more turn had I held the heat. Like, on one hand, I'm sitting here going, well, don't want to play around battlefield tactics, right? Like, I'm thinking about Hammer, and I'm thinking about battlefield tactics being a potential issue. And I was like, do we want to play around that right now? And the answer is no, not really. But maybe holding the heat was correct. Like, we're truly playing into the blind because I have no idea what I'm playing against. So if I would have just held the heat, they go to attack, they trigger the Raban, we heat. They could theoretically play the other Raban. We would have drawn into the second heat. And at that point, we would have been able to heat the second Raban, keeping them fully offline until they draw another creature. So I think we misplayed Grand Scheme. Because if we had held the heat, we would have gotten at least one more turn. Even if we weren't able to dispatch the second Raban, it would have given us enough time to get into Breaker, hit the Colossus Hammer, trigger the return, and sweep, which would then take out the Raban. I think that was probably going to be classified as a misplay, yeah. That's so unfortunate. Alright. Well, I can sit here and mull it over all I want, but not exactly much we can do about it. Like, my only comparison that I can think of is Hammer, and so I want to play around the battlefield tactics. I play around the battlefield tactics, we end up losing to skateboard or Radon on a skateboard, or Raban on a skateboard, Raban on a skateboard. We just end up losing to that outright. Because he came down one turn too late. Okay. Well, looking back at our matches, seeing Frog twice definitely makes me feel like I want Cavern of Souls. Definitely missing Cavern of Souls. The question then becomes, do we play Cavern of Souls main again? Do we play it in the side? I mean, I've had thoughts of even playing Ghost Quarter in the side, given the amount of times we cut it. Things to think about there. I think there might be some value in Cavern, depending on how big Frog is, since they are going to be pretty counterspell heavy. Our losses against Frog in round 2, 3, definitely a lot of variance. A lot of variance. Devoted Druid, game 1, not much we could have done. Game 2, though, I mean, having the mulligan 3 times was brutal. Dwarves. I think there's definitely a surprise factor involved where there's not too much we could have done. I do wonder in game 1 if maybe I should have ramped Scrydrad instead of Scrydrad Exile, just to give me more time on the board. That way could have blocked for a couple turns. Maybe there's some value there. So potential misplay. Game 3, though, like I said, I definitely think we misplayed by playing Heat at sorcery speed to play around a theoretical battlefield tactics, which I do not know for certain whether or not they play. I guess we should have really only played around cards we know and not cards that we don't know, and that would have given me the out for Heat target Raban after combat, or attackers have been declared. Give me another turn, which would then allowed me to draw into the second Heat, which would have taken out the Raban, which then would have potentially given me another turn for the Breaker to take out the Colossus Hammer while their bodies are on board. So I definitely think we could have won game 3, but I think it definitely comes down to not knowing what we're playing against. So, give and take there. Unfortunate regardless, but with that being said, that there is going to be the end of today's YouTube video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see the lines that I missed, the mistakes that I made, or any general feedback, be much appreciated. For as much that I hope you'll learn from me in both my success and failure, I hope I can learn from you all as well. If you have respoiled the video and haven't already, please consider hitting the subscribe button as we continue to grow this channel. However, if you'd like to watch these videos recorded live over on Twitch, I recommend following me over my socials or join my Discord server. That way you can be notified when I go live. With that being said though, folks, I will see you next time. Bye-bye!